Hi, I'm Chap Bettis, author of The Disciple Making Parent, and this is my audio blog where I read some of my blog posts in audio format for your convenience. In today's episode, we're going to be thinking about an apologetic for the Christian mess. 12 things I wish I had known as a teen. And the word apologetic is not an apology, but it comes from the Greek word and means a defense. So this is a defense for the Christian mess. Well, in my teen years, as I was becoming more aware of the wider world, I began to understand that the Christian world is a lot messier than I realized. Rather than contradicting what Jesus taught, this mess actually fulfills it. But no one ever told me that. Here are a few things I wish someone had told me about the Christian mess. Perhaps this list can help you in your own life or in your discipleship of your teen. Number 1, true Christians will always be a minority. Jesus said, "For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few." Matthew 7:14. Truth is never determined by the majority. Just because you're in the minority does not mean you're wrong or have anything to be ashamed of. In fact, Jesus predicted the majority are wrong when it comes to understanding the truth. Number 1, true Christians will always be a minority. Number 2, not everyone who says they're Christian is. Jesus taught this when he said, "Not everyone who says, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven." That's found in Matthew 7:21. In addition, the kingdom is like a field with weeds in it that the owner chooses not to pull out at the moment. That's found in Matthew 13:24. There are plenty of false professors and sinful true Christians. Leave it to Jesus to sort out. So number 2, not everyone who says they are a Christian is. Number 3, not everyone who uses the Bible to teach is a Christian. There have always been those who distorted and mishandled Jesus' message. Jesus tells us to beware of false teachers. That's found in Matthew 24:4. And Peter warns us about those who distort the word. You can see 2 Peter 3:16. You see, there are professing Christians, but they're not handling the word well. 2 Timothy 2:14. Robust global Christianity marches on around the globe. Churches that water down the gospel inevitably fade over time. So not everyone who uses the Bible to teach is a Christian. Number 4, there will always be those who tear down. Among those who attack Christianity from the outside are scoffers, 2 Peter 3:3 tells us. Their words want only the destruction of Christianity, and they offer no real positive alternative. Don't be led astray by their mocking. There are good answers to anything that they bring up. So number 4, there will always be those who tear down. Number 5, Christianity is not anti-intellectual, but anti-intellectualism. Not anti-science, but anti-scientism. Both of these isms involve naturalistic assumptions and worship of the mind. Though there are plenty of brilliant Christians, intellectuals en masse will not embrace Christianity. Jesus said that the Father has hidden these things from the wise and learned and revealed them to the little children. So you can find that in Matthew 11, verse 25. So Christianity is not anti-intellectual or anti-science, but it is anti-intellectualism and anti-scientism. Number 6, Christianity has the best answers to suffering. Scoffers like to bring up the issue of evil in the world. Know that Christianity has the best answer. You may not like the mystery of the Christian answer, but it sure beats the other answers. Don't be intimidated. So number 6, Christianity has the best answer to suffering. Number 7, those who've held to true Christianity have committed injustices. This is due to the darkness of mankind's heart, not the darkness of Christianity. Again, don't be intimidated. This is not because of Christianity, but in spite of it. It is a correlation, not a causation. And if you want to see real atrocity and cruelty, look where there is no influence of Christianity. For example, communists killed 100 million people in the 20th century. That's 100 million. So 7, those who've held to true Christianity have committed injustices. Number 8, while faith is required, our hope rests on a rational proof, the resurrection. Believing in Jesus is not believing in Santa Claus or Bigfoot. We have overwhelming rational proof. And that's why we can be confident even though we're in the minority. So that while faith is required, our hope rests on a rational proof, the resurrection. Number 9, listen to the critics, but don't drink the poison. The very strength of Christianity is its self-evaluation and self-critique. But this needs to be balanced with realizing that many critics desire to destroy Christianity. Fault-finding is a sin. Until Christ returns, his bride will always be imperfect. But she is his bride, his beloved. So number 9, listen to the critics, but don't drink the poison. Number 10, be very careful with your own criticism. Though you are young, you are not immune from self-righteousness. Pride and self-righteousness are the premier sins of unbelievers. It is as you build that you will discover how difficult it is. Charles Spurgeon said, "Idlers may indulge in a fond conceit of their ability." Idlers, people who don't work hard. Idlers may indulge in a fond conceit of their abilities because they are untried, but the earnest worker soon learns his own weaknesses. If you seek humility, try hard work. If you would know your nothingness, attempt some great thing for Jesus. Well, in my less eloquent words, stop being a film critic and start making a movie. Turn your critique into a zeal to beautify the people of God. So number 10, be very careful with your own criticism. Number 11, most entertainers are beautiful and attractive fools. Turning our attention to Hollywood, we need to understand the seduction of entertainment. The camera lies, leaving out the destruction and emptiness that sin causes. Biblically, most of Hollywood are fools whose God is their stomach, or appetites there. They build their lives on the sand, not the rock. And as a pastor, I've seen the destruction of sin firsthand, but the camera never shows it. Don't envy those who are happy without Christ. Pity them. Number 11, most entertainers are beautiful and attractive fools. Number 12, trust the Christian sexual ethic. Sexual expression is a radioactive power that our Creator has designed for safe use in heterosexual marriage. Those who open that power and ignore the radioactive warnings will be harmed. The damage will be hidden and cumulative, but it will be there. So number 12, trust the Christian sexual ethic. In a baker's dozen, number 13, there will always be Christian leaders you admire that abandoned their faith. As heart-wrenching as it is, there is nothing new. Paul had teammates like Demas and Phygellus and Hermogenes who abandoned their faith. Whether direct abandonment or simply drifting away, this is called apostasy. It's happened before, and it will happen again. Jesus said, "Many will fall away and betray one another. The love of many will grow cold, but the one who endures to the end will be saved." That's found in Matthew 24. Again, this apostasy doesn't disprove the rightness of following Jesus. He actually predicted that it would happen. Well, in conclusion, life is messy. The New Testament church was messy. Those who call themselves Christians are messy. But that is not the fault of following Christ, but of the nature of sin. In the words of G.K. Chesterton, Christianity has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried. Don't believe the critics. The true church is vibrantly growing around the world. Don't get sidetracked by our Western mess. Follow Jesus confidently to the best of your ability. Let Jesus figure out the mess at the final judgment. Giving yourself to Jesus, the gospel, His word, and His church will always put you on the right side of history. Well, thank you for listening to the Disciple Making Parent audio blog. This ministry is equipping families to stand strong against the rising antagonism to the gospel. After all, what is more important to us than the souls of our children and grandchildren? But we can only do this because of people like you who support the ministry through monthly or special gifts. So if you have benefited from this ministry, from this podcast, would you prayerfully consider becoming a monthly or regular financial partner? Visit thedisciplemakingparent.com/give. Thanks for listening.